Warp Pipe Wednesday.
Cheers, Jay.
Cheers.
I got this, it's peace tea.
Peace tea.
So it's not Arizona tea, but it kind of looks like it, like peace.
Sweet.
Peace and love. Snowberry is the flavor I'm drinking.
What's a snowberry taste like?
It basically just tastes like berries. I think they're holding a lemon like in the peace sign there, but it just tastes like a raspberry iced tea, I'd say.
Oh,
Something
okay.
like that,
Fair enough.
similar to that. It's all right. I saw it at the gas station. I said, let me try it. I don't know.
Was it 99 cents?
I think it was $1.50. I think they were like 2 for $3 or something like that.
Arizona's are like usually like 99 cents. So that's
I don't know how they're still holding on to like the dollar. Like no inflation has not hit Arizona.
I don't know.
Them and Costco hot dogs.
That's it. Best meal in the market.
I guess so. Yeah. I will say when I work in the food court area at Costco, I did have hot dogs on my like break and stuff. But now that I'm in the bakery, I can't say I ever order the hot dog anymore. I'm always just usually getting a slice of pizza.
Healthy choices. I like it.
I feel like it goes down a little better. I feel like eating that hot dog. I'm just like, oh, I got to go back to work now.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
I usually just eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I thought you were going to say peanut butter and jelly pizza.
You know, cowabunga, bro.
Cowabunga. I still got to see that Ninja Turtles movie. Did you see that with your son?
No, I didn't see it. I don't like the art style.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it does have an interesting
I'm that guy.
art style.
Back in my day, turtles looked cooler.
I mean, they went all in. I'll have to give them that of like the promotion of it. Like all like they had like food and stuff with it promoting.
Yeah.
New toys, like everything. So hopefully, I mean, it was like us growing up when Turtle Mania hit, maybe for some kids these days, you know.
Dude, I wish my kid was in Turtles. He could care less.
So he's just Pokemon,
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right.
He's not even really into Mario
Minecraft
anymore.
a little bit.
And
yeah.
If I could get him to play the game, he might be into that, but
oh, okay.
Yeah, he hasn't really played that, so
fair enough.
He likes Kirby a lot though.
Oh, okay.
That game, The Forgotten Land.
Yeah,
he got into that. Yeah, he beat that.
Nice. I'm trying to beat some games I've been playing. I'm kind of bouncing around quite a few different games and systems.
Yeah,
trying to get the backlog out. I've been still hacking away at God of War. I think I have 4 chapters left. So how many hours that is, I don't know. I think usually I could do a chapter within an hour, maybe less. I'm playing on the absolute easiest setting. It's like, just give me story. It's the name of the setting. So, and still some of the, it's still a little challenging. It's not like a walk in the park.
Right.
But I'm fine with that. And then I charged my 3DS system. So I'm playing Luigi's Mansion 2 on that slightly. So I've been popping that like in while I'm in bed, trying to get a little bit further in that. And then I just came out with a video on my YouTube channel about Cathedral on the Switch.
That was an excellent video. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, I recommend watching it. That was a really fun video to watch. And it was, I don't want to give too much away. I don't know. Do you want to spoil it on here, Russ?
Yeah, I mean, I guess most people probably are listening to the podcast, probably seen the video.
Hopefully. If you didn't, pause now. Spoiler alert.
But yeah, my intention was making this video because I was so frustrated with this game.
Or frustrated with an R.
Frustrated. Did I spell it wrong?
I don't know if you spelled it wrong, but you said fuss, and it's frust.
Right. No, I spelled it right on my thumbnail. I'm just pronouncing it wrong. Is it Tupperware or Tupperware?
Tupperware.
Tupperware. Anyways,
like the grammar Nazi over here.
So I've been playing this game for a little bit. I got it, I think 2 years ago, I want to say, and I did a live stream of it, and then I kind of put it on the shelf and played a bunch of other stuff. And we were going on vacation, and I was like, you know what? Let me bring this game with me because it was kind of like Shovel Knight. I like the art style. It's like that 16-bit ish retro graphics, and it plays similar Shovel Knight slash Metroid. You're
It
going
looked what I saw of you playing it, it reminded me of, like, a very modern take of Ghosts and Goblins.
okay.
Because the way the character kinda had, like, the armor,
Hmm.
and even the way he died,
Right, where you
it
almost like
reminded me of, like, Super Ghouls and Ghosts or whatever.
right. The only difference would be this is more open world, so you can
Yeah,
travel,
yeah,
fast travel
maybe
to different
not
points.
as linear, but the character for sure.
Right. And essentially, it's ends up being a pretty difficult game, and I had gotten stuck in some bosses and then just kept trying and trying and trying, got past it. And I just got stuck at this one last boss, and I was putting like hours into trying to beat this boss. I was playing it while I was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. We were at the hotel and I'd play it, when we come home. And I really wanted to beat this boss and I couldn't. So I made this video of how frustrated it was. But then I went to capture gameplay footage so I could put over B-roll and end up beating the boss on the gameplay.
That it did look very frustrating. Like, you would have to, like, jump and light all these lanterns. I wasn't exactly sure what the point of that was. And then you had to, like, repower up your sword, your gun, something,
Right. So the purpose of
and
you
and
you light
then,
the
like,
lanterns.
it created,
Yeah,
like, this border that when the dragon hit the border,
that's what the
it
lanterns did. Yeah.
it froze him so you could whack away on him.
Yeah. So you needed to shock him by lighting the lanterns. He'd fly into the shocking like thing. Then he'd be laid out, and then you can take your gun out that shoots like little like boulders or whatever to try to break his mask that he's
Okay.
wearing. He has this mask on there, but I can only get 7 shots off, and then you have to reload and then relight the lanterns, all while he's chasing you around this damn area.
Didn't that dragon remind you of the messenger? The dragon off the messenger?
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that very similar?
And again, I brought up in the video that it had similarities to the messenger, but I absolutely loved the messenger. Like it came out, I played it, got it digitally,
Me too.
played it, beat it. I made my own case for it, and I had gone to PAX because the developers were going to be there, and I showed them the case, and they were like super excited, and they had their booth, and they gave me a free T-shirt and like a lei because they had new DLC that
You
was
got
coming
laid,
out.
Russ?
I got laid, but so they hooked it up because the new DLC was like Hawaiian themed or something like that.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
island themed. So that's
Yeah.
why they had their whole setup was like a tiki house,
Okay.
and they were wearing leis. So they gave me a lei, and then when the game, I had him sign the case I made, like the plastic part.
Yeah.
So when the game physically came out, I just put the sleeve into that one, and so it's all
I
set
kinda
like that.
regret not getting that physically. That was such a dope game.
Yeah, and I had a real good time with it, and
At one point, I got lost, and I set it down for, like, a year.
oh, that's tough to go back to be
And
like,
then
"Where do I gotta go?"
I picked it back up, and I got through it. I
Oh,
don't know
wow.
how. I did, dude. I was so stoked when I finally beat it. I was like, "Thank you," because like, I loved The Messenger, but once it kind of went Metroidvania and you kinda had to backtrack around to find some stuff, I kinda got lost.
And that was kinda interesting because you didn't almost know that playing the game, right? You're playing this game, and then you get to a certain point because it's all you're like, "Oh, okay, it's like Ninja Gaiden," and
Yep.
then it opens up the whole world, and you're like, "Now it's like open world, and you have
Yeah.
all these places to
Yep.
explore." Definitely cool.
That game was incredible, though. They that paid so much homage to so many retro video games.
Absolutely.
It was
Inspiration
like
drawn.
it was perfect.
So that's that game, and then Cathedral, not so much, all right? I was getting frustrated with it, not having a fantastic time. I'm having an okay time with it, but I keep getting stuck at certain parts, but I played it a little bit last night, and I beat a side boss, and I went on to the main story, and I'm stuck at this new boss that, again, obstacles again. I have to the floor is made of electrical stuff, so I can't touch it. It's one hit deaths, and they're shooting these 4 beams at you, and you have to like jump over this and use your magnet power to pull. So it's like, why does it have to be like 10 different things going on? It can't just
Right,
be fire, 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 fire. You shoot the boss and he's dead.
right. You know, gotta make it worth your while. So I haven't been playing many video games lately. I actually did pop in Super Castlevania 4 last night just to play something, and I played probably like 25, 30 minutes. I got to like the 3rd or 4th level,
Okay.
and I was like, "All right, I'm tired, I'm done." But, I mean, I could beat that game at any moment. It's,
Right.
I've
But
done it like
just
1,000 times, but
to dive into
I
it.
just love the music so much,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
weird. I I have nostalgia for Super Castlevania from, like, 10 years ago when I first got into retro video games.
Yeah.
But I'd never played it as a kid, so it's not like nostalgia as a kid, it's like when every it was like getting back into gaming and being so excited about anything and everything Nintendo that I had seen, like, I remember, like, I'd never played Kid Icarus before, and I was so excited to get Kid Icarus and, like, just different games on the NES and Super NES that I was like, "Oh, I never played this," or the Genesis. But, so that it kinda gave me, like, nostalgia for then, which is interesting that that's something I can be nostalgic about now. When
Right.
I first started collecting.
Yeah, it kinda sparked that interest back into
Mhm.
there. I'm trying to think when that kinda happened for me, because I remember there was a point, I can't exactly remember, but something triggered like, "Hey, let me break out my NES and, like,
Yeah.
dive into these old games." Like, I still had it, I didn't get rid of it, so I was like,
Oh,
"Alright,
lucky you, lucky you.
let me pull these out and, display." I it probably was, like, watching videos on YouTube of other people, like, either game hunting or discussing retro games, and I was like,
S
"Oh, yeah, I got some," I was probably at that time playing, GameCube or Wii, probably Wii,
Okay.
and then I was like, "Oh, yeah, I do have the retro stuff," like.
So, you know what happened to me, like, a year to 2 years before I got into retro gaming? 2
Okay,
things happened, and I'm embarrassed of both of them. So, at one point, I was cleaning out this closet in my old house. My wife at that time was my girlfriend, moved in with me, and we were just, like, cleaning out this one closet. I was just trying to get rid of stuff, make some room, and I had an original Super Nintendo box copy of Stanley Cup,
okay,
Brett Hull hockey, and NHL '93. And
yep,
it's just because my love for hockey, and I was like, "I'm gonna keep these boxes, that's cool." And they were my originals from when I bought them back in, like, the early '90s.
yeah,
I took them to the recycling center and just threw them in the recycling bin. No, I know it's not like thank God it wasn't like Chrono Trigger, Evo, and, like, something like that,
something
like
super expensive,
yeah,
yeah,
like Devil's Crest or whatever, Demon's Crest or anything
Demon's
like that.
Crest, yeah,
Um, it wasn't anything like that, but they were still mine and they meant something to me, and now I'm like, "Oh, I love video games, I want all this stuff," and I remembered throwing them away. That was one thing that happened.
okay,
The other thing that happened was, at one point, my mom had this, like, building that my grandfather had bought that he was gonna use as, like, a little, like, how would you describe it? Like, I guess, like, just like his living area, but, like, in my mom's side yard, and
okay,
it basically had everything except a shower and a toilet, which she would come in my mom's house and use, but it was really nice, and my cousin lived there for a while. We ended up eventually using it for storage, and I stored a lot of my stuff there that wouldn't fit in my smaller house, and there was an NES console that I got from my girlfriend in 2003, and I remember seeing it in 2003, and I was like, "Oh, that's crazy, a Nintendo, I haven't seen one of those," and at that point, it was probably like 8 to 10 years, which seemed like an eternity at that time, and, so I got her old NES, and I kept it forever and ever and ever, and then we were cleaning out this garage. It wasn't a garage, like, this little building, and, my friend TJ said, "Hey, what should we do with this?" And I was like, "Man, that thing probably doesn't even work anymore. Just throw it away." And he threw it in this huge trash bag, and we hauled it off to the trash dump. I threw it I'm sure it was fine because
yep,
knowing what I know now, NESs are like army tanks
right,
and
right.
indestructible. I threw away a perfectly good NES, and I wouldn't even had to look for one when I got back into it if I'd just kept it.
Right, I feel
That's
like a
so
lot of
embarrassing
times
that I did that.
it's definitely embarrassing.
NES
Um,
addict, threw away Nintendo.
when I worked at the retro video game store, Retro Games Plus, a lot of people would, bring their consoles in to trade them in or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I got this old NES, it doesn't work." And, 9 times out of 10, we can do some trick that we know to
Absolutely.
kinda get it working.
Oh, yeah.
We would then replace the pins on the NES when we were gonna sell them because you can buy new pins, but there's still ways to kind of refurbish the pins you have. You
Yeah.
can take it
I
out
used to
and,
boil them.
let's say, boil them in water or whatever. Sometimes they get bent out. You can maybe bend the pins back so it's a
Mhm.
tighter connection. But like you said, they don't make them like they do anymore.
No.
They
I
definitely still work, and very rarely do they completely crap the bed.
So in some landfill somewhere are some boxes I threw away and a Nintendo I threw away, and I'm so sad. The NES addict threw away Nintendo. Like, what's wrong with me?
Now I wonder if did it
Call
just
me
get
and shame
crushed?
me. Call me and shame me.
Call You can call the podcast at our phone number, 949 and, I don't know, leave some
Sh-
comments about
sh-
Jay throwing out an NES.
Shame me. Shame. Sorry, what were you saying, Russ? I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say, I wonder if anyone else came across that, like, is the stuff just immediately, like, compacted and smashed or, like
No, hopefully not. Hopefully someone found it and said, some idiot threw this away
right,
and saved it.
possibly. So, yeah, maybe
Maybe it
it
was
still
you.
lives on somewhere else. Yeah, because a lot of times too, would say early on, this sparks other memories of, like, going on Craigslist looking for deals and stuff, and some people would post, like, NES, not sure if it works, and it'd be like, 20 bucks with
Right.
some games or whatever, and I go there and it'd be like, "Oh, okay." Like, "Yeah, I'll check it out." And he's like, "I can't get it to work." And then I go home, put the game in, like, jiggle it a little bit, like, "This works fine."
Came
You
right
just don't
on.
know how to finesse it.
Yep. Yep. Gotta wiggle it just a little bit.
That's it, just a little bit on there. I do have on mine, which I don't see anymore. I don't know. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about this, but I don't have a regular pin in my NES. I have it's called the
Blinking
no
light
blinking
win?
light win.
Yeah, I knew you
So
were gonna say
you
that.
insert the NES game and you don't push down
Mhm.
because the pin is, I guess, shaped like a C
Yeah.
because it inserts to the regular part, goes up, and then comes out, and that's where you put your NES game in. So you're not
Yep.
pushing down. It was like on Kickstarter probably 10 years
I
ago.
remember it so
I thought
well.
it was neat, so I backed it, and, I mean, it still works. It's in there. I haven't replaced it.
Do you remember when they came out with the top loader Russ back in the day?
Yeah, I do remember seeing it at, like, Toys R Us and kinda confused on
Mhm.
what it was, like, "Why does this exist?" You know?
Y I so the only thing I was stupid and I didn't realize that it fixed the problem with the NES, making it a top loader, but I was like, "Oh, they're just trying to make it look like a Super Nintendo so people will wanna buy it,"
I
because
did
the
think I thought that as well because it's the smoother edges,
Mhm.
little sleeker design, and the dog bone controller kinda mimics the
Mimic the Super
roundness.
NES controller.
Right, and I
I
was like,
mean,
I don't
but
know."
really, I think they were just trying to fix I think they were just trying to A, lower the cost because it
Mhm.
only had, what was it, just,
RF.
coax
Yeah, no AV
no
inputs on
V
that
no
one.
yeah, just the RF switch, and also fix the problem of it being a front loading now to a top loader.
Right. It probably was more geared towards, I guess, people that didn't have an NES, maybe not
Yeah,
so
which would be
upgrading to
hard to
one.
believe, I mean, because those probably came out in '95.
Right.
They were a couple years into the NES or
Uh,
Super NES when those popped out,
right. Yeah. Yeah.
but
So maybe that was like, okay, we can get the kids that maybe the parents are like, I can't spend 200 something dollars on a Super Nintendo, but do you want this
because I think at that
NES?
point, they were running about 50 bucks,
Oh, what?
probably like
Yeah.
49.99 or something.
I mean, that's cost of a game.
It's a budget, yeah, pretty budget
So
friendly.
100 bucks to get a brand new game and a brand new system
Yep.
rather than buying the Super Nintendo, which was probably like, I don't know, what, 160,
I would say I
180.
would no, I would say at that point, the Super NES was probably just like 99.99 because that
Okay.
was '95, so they had been out about 2, 3 years. Because when I got mine in '92, it was 129.99, and the Genesis
Okay.
was 119. So it had already dropped a decent amount, and then at that point, I think it was
Hmm.
like the NES for 50, Super NES was 100.
Gotcha.
I think that's correct.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll go with it.
Russ is like, "Whatever you say, Jay. You're
Fact
the
check us.
gaming historian here."
Where's Norm?
Yeah.
What else we got here? Trying to think of anything else going on. I'm working on a few videos. I said I got that Blockbuster Video Challenge video went up as well. If you guys haven't checked that out, I competed in the Blockbuster World Championship out in Portland.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, so that one's up. Um, I'm working on a video when I was also in Portland and they had the Nintendo Power Museum display.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be cool.
So I got to do a couple voiceover work on that. But basically, this one person has a collection of pieces from Nintendo Power where like he has the shoes from the track and field cover that they
Mhm.
made when they shot the cover. He has uh the ship from Mega Man 2 that Dr. Wily's in that's
Yep.
like clay. Some really cool pieces that you're like, How do these even survive
How
after the photo shoot? Like, where do they end up?"
hopefully somebody just, like, said, "Let's take these," you know?
Right.
It's amazing stuff that's still around from back then, you know? Even, like, the sun behind me, like, that's so awesome somebody kept it, like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So much signage out there that
yeah.
people still end up finding, and it's like, these stores could have easily just thrown this into the garbage. I'm sure they were directed
Well
to.
well, I mean, even when I got my Wii U kiosk, when I went to go ask for it, that they had already smashed the television because they said Nintendo had told them to destroy it. If I worked for a GameStop, I would definitely not destroy it. I would either A, keep it, or B, give it to somebody who really wanted it. I wouldn't listen to you, Nintendo. I'm a rebel. Do what I want.
Like, are they yeah, like, yeah, they're like destroy
They're
are they
not
like
coming to look and see if you did it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, they need picture confirmation that you destroyed it, or like
If
it's like
that's the
just get rid of
case,
it.
you Google a broken television.
Right. And just send them that
Yeah,
picture.
exactly. There you go. You did it.
Fair enough.
Hey, Russ, a good friend of ours is getting really close to that magical number of 100,000 subs.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. So I want to help make a push to get them there.
Okay.
Our good buddy, yours and mine,
Ah,
Chris, NES
NES
Complex,
Complex.
99.8 thousand subs. He just released a sweet new uh Zelda Secrets, Codes, and Intel Zelda 2, the Adventure of Link. Uh,
Yeah.
Go watch that if you haven't already and subscribe to NES Complex because I think that'd be super cool to see him hit 100K, especially after as long as this guy's been in the game.
Yeah, he's been in there,
I mean, he's like you, forever, a lifer.
the OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched this one here and I ended up streaming Zelda 2, I think because I had watched the video he put out.
Yep.
I kind of got inspired, but yeah, so many good series he has on here.
Yeah.
The
Let's get Chris a play button, and then let's get Russ one. And
yeah.
then if you're feeling really good, go get me one. Just kidding.
Yeah, we're definitely close there. I think I'm at 54,000.
Heck yeah, dude.
So, I think next year we should be able to hit it
You got
hopefully.
you have a lot better chance than I do. I'm like not even at 8K.
Well, I mean, it's all because of the shorts. I think
Hey,
like
you got some great
35,000.
shorts.
Gotta love the shorts. So I've been trying to put out, 2 shorts, 3 shorts a week, keep it going and see if some hit, and then get my full content, full edited videos out as well.
And
Plus
my
live streaming once a week
Yeah, me too. I'm doing all those things. No, I'm
in your
not.
mind.
Lazy.
Send me your footage, I'll edit it.
No, 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 no. It's all good. I've given up on the dream. I'm just happy to be here with you, Russ.
That's it. You can catch us every week, Saturdays at 7 a.m. and Warp Pipe Wednesdays on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. We've been pretty consistent.
I mean, you dang right we have.
Haven't missed a week, and we're going strong. Hoping more people discover the podcast. I'm doing my best to try to do like short videos as well to post
Yeah.
those up on like TikTok and even on the YouTube channel to do shorts on the Weekly Warp Pipe YouTube channel. So maybe people would see it and be like, "Oh, okay, let me check out this
Think you need
podcast."
a more handsome co-host might help you.
If I had some better pictures of my co-hosts that
Sorry.
that I could post promo stuff
All right, all right, all right, all right. This weekend,
this weekend, I'll take some freaking promo photos.
I got to do it. I got to.
Quick shout out to our Patreons. We got Dan and Nicole's Treasures Untold, Joe Sheevy, Trace Living Good, Samantha Chang, Rodney Torres, and Retroholics 16 for coming in clutch. Hey, shout out to Retroholics 16. I was
Dude,
live streaming,
I caught this. I saw this. I saw this happen.
donated $99.99 towards my Blink ticket, he said.
What a baller.
I was like, dude, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to get me a t-shirt,
There
one of
you
the
go.
concert t-shirts.
Hey, buy me one too. Just kidding.
Well, they're probably $50, right?
I mean, yeah, they're gonna be crazy. I won't even buy one.
But I'm super excited. So thank you so much for supporting me there. If you guys want to support the podcast, you can do $1 a month. It's a little one there, and it goes towards doing the fees and all this
You
stuff
know
with
what
the
would
podcast.
also be great?
Yep,
Get on whatever you listen to our podcast on.
yep,
Give us that 5-star review.
that's true. I feel like
That's what's gonna keep this going.
that probably helps push it out to other people's feeds
Yeah,
when you're browsing podcasts, and it's like, oh, you may like this podcast as well since this got a few
yeah.
reviews. So
Tell them how sultry our voices are, how beautiful our faces are, and how incredibly great our content is.
I dig it. All facts. Sweet guys. Well, we appreciate you hanging out, listening to us, watching us, and supporting us as always. I'm Russ Lyman, and keep your world fun bit by bit.